Kata pakalima. Mano karafu kulungu. Police station mandi kasate o sate ndem boyta abere. Hani station kili mawi. That is deliberate. Abele no moy.
Assalamualaikum bademolo hani bi mbaje Kunkujang Keitaya political bureau nal bade malon Suleiman Jam sina ngal lamoy bayo sirfo sonko councilor men gada brikama area council la kuma kanwala.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum to everyone. I just want to make a quick update. Now in the social media between Chairman Yanks Dabo and Uncle Brother Madi regarding Yanks' speech in Farato. Basically, I know what Nyandaka Kukulina understand young. Madi Jobata is an activist. Yanks Dabo is a politician. Their languages will always differ. But I understand Madi Bekosman, I believe the same cause is what Yanks is doing. Kajako, we have a very corrupt government, and then that government basically, people have rights to interpret. Rights to interpret it anyhow you want to see it. But I believe maybe Madi actually did not understand what Yanks means, but God knows, he knows what actually it means. But Yanks la diamo niya lamoyala if I understand what exactly it means. Be Nkamemwe NPP la and they are the established government already. Nkamemwe la they are going to win the election. In fact, the recent statement from the president, they are going to have almost about 75% of the vote. So Jumalo for president, how did he come to know that? And when we all know IEC, just recently, the president has just appointed a new chairman of the IEC. So if the president did that and Amuta Kolangako, they are going to have 75% of the vote, the total vote of this country. Who knows the rationale behind that? So basically, Yanks statement, it doesn't mean about violence, but Yanks statement be main focus. Basically, NPP recently like they are trying to put fear into people. So Yanks coming from Mole, you have to look at where they are most of the damage. I remember we have to come out and vote. So Mefintila na katrao fight. You understand? So it's like he's encouraging people to come out and vote. And voting is a democratic process. Be oloni. Katrefeo kake daudran katrefeo is a democratic process. Katrefeo molecule democracy the people's power. Molecule symbol by voting for somebody. They want the person to be in the presidency. So basically, that is where it starts. So but now it's not just going to be Nakatao fight. You understand? That is exactly Aladiamonim. If you look at where it starts, Adiamo start Damendo and Adiamonim Bandamendo. Willem Yuntuko, Bekatao fight, Alunina Katao fight, Ghana Sido Nambulura and Yokam. Like overconfidence. It's trying to tell people, let us not just have overconfidence. Nina Katao fight, we have to defend Nakatro. So defending Nakatro, it has a lot of means, right? We make sure go Nakatro and Sunya. So Nina Katro fight, and we all know the Nakatro fight very well. The next step maybe we have to come out, you understand, and celebrate our victory because we are the Ninkatro Nina win. So now one will start what actually it means about that. For example, in 2021, right? What happened? After how many hours? After how many hours? The results were not out. when we know that already we vote, and when we know that obviously people voted for United Democratic Party massively. People voted for United Democratic Party massively. So, but at the end of it, what happened? Everybody was seated, Mobe seated, Mobe Yabula, you come, IEC seated for Watomen Diate, they came out, the resource for resource may along, be along for funny resource or what. So now, Yanks is trying to put confidence into people. Like a confidence they put into people, and putting confidence into people, I mean, it feels like, this is one of the way we have to put confidence into the people. New winter, the next step we have to go to State House. We have to go to State House. State House. So basically, Neo statement very well. Obviously, if I understand the context he is talking about. It's not here coming up no. But let's make sure massively and now win after counting, because men can only sport counting them. So when counting already, we counted our vote already. Now the number of votes mentioned in every polling station. Natalie, we know very well control the winter. What should we wait? We have to come out and celebrate. We have to come out in large numbers and celebrate. So because it doesn't mean come and come for Ninkatro Federal Eka President Samba or Eka President Kara State House. That's not possible. Ninkatro Fighter Mobuga is almost how many days? How many days le begin President of the State House. So sometimes, I mean, come and call for the interpretation. Interpretation of Fenet Maya Loco more ending. So this is why, for me personally, I'm not going to blame Madi on his statement or on his understanding about the statement. My only problem with Madi's statement is calling the government to arrest. You understand? An elected official. Into a political platform. You understand? Into a political platform. That is my only context here. Madi calling on people, on the police, the IGP to arrest an elected chairman. Basically, in a political platform, and you understand? The context of Kumakawanying, everybody understand that it doesn't mean we have to create violence. It doesn't mean you understand? In fact, when Yanks was even giving that statement, you can see he was kind of doing it jovially at some point. He was not emphasizing it at that point. Amantaka overemphasized for him. That is one of the points also one need to understand. But like I said, Madi, have his own views because he's an activist, and basically an activist, someone may he want to criticize both sides, you understand? And then that is his right until I believe morality. You can criticize both sides, you can condemn the message, but like calling for the IGP, to arrest an opposition, personnel, I think that is one of the points I might not agree with Madi on that aspect, but condemning whatever statement at Yayako, look, that is his understanding about the statement, and understanding them statement on at la faham room statement on so that context ni Madi and the understand. We are dealing Nimasakunda Dilka, Masakunda Mea Lonko, they are ready. Masakunda Mea Lonko, if a fair put into people, if a more cylinder can. Every day, ni findi like a more cylinder, if a police all cylinder can. Bea Kalamtajana, not just so long. One of their key figure, Gambia police all tabe cylinder can. Among Melanjang, one of their key figure, funding Joel cylinder can. Among Mejan and the president of Moijang, what the statement Memfokam against citizen or Nimbango Kanjang. So basically, the statements coming from an established structure, the president and his NPP, all the time, message menga bobo, these are message of fear. So basically, one must come and, give a counter statement against Ilawo to put, that is exactly what Yanks is trying to do here. Kawakilo dundi molto anna katro fay because one thing nebeje e ka même put molto wala ñu ko ha anna katro fay fon ñu be katro suñala ntolbe winnal we understand sometimes an opposition always keep this ko be winnal but nyaaji be NPP is not only talking about be winnal but what was the last statement of the president be winnal 75% be alno ko 75% of vote in any country in Bangkok that is complete dictatorship dictatorship lady. So that is, so MPP Masakunda or MPP Lanyaton Kolu, if a fair man do become molto, this is why somebody have to come and condemn them. Somebody have to come and put courage into the people. For more finti, you wakilo dundi molto. You know, I mean, you know, that is very important. You wakilo dundi molto. Yanks, I don't think Yanks state no actually means go, he want to create violence or after like a violence create. No, that is not what it is creating. And Yanks let me tell you something. It's like chairmanship election or jibe. Chairmanship election. What happened? Kabrin Katro Federal and Katro be tabulated. Before IEC announcement, we were out in the street to celebrate. Because we already know we have done our tabulation and we know that the results we have already. We were out in the street and celebrating. So what actually Yanks is doing, Madi the activist and Yanks the politician. So Yanks, political statements and then Madi activist statement, completely, these are completely different things. So this is why Madi, that's fine. That is his own observation. He might not agree with others, like I said, because, Mojama Joloko, youngster statement among fitno wulindi, wala jero keda wolum. I've been following the comments. My comments will follow can. No jamala miro kamentani wolo nyuko youngster statement amantara violence for memfo ka wolo nyuko is trying to put courage into the people. That is what mojama ba la commentor. Even you go to Mali for la post into mojama ba benu wole fokang ko youngster statement amantara violence put into the people menke kanto wolo nyuko is trying to put courage into the people. That is mojama ba in the comment section. Mojama ba in the comment section jam in Madi from a post. That is exactly what Ebenu will focus. That is exactly what they were trying to say. So Yanks is not actually imposing coming Africa be fit no. He's not talking about that. Yanks man fit no come focus jam. I wish you go and listen to Ala Diamoni. I know Diamoni Niala mo be fansu miro sotra, mo be fansu kumakano sotra, mo be own understanding sotra. But one thing I know very well willing to go, because what I have to do before I even come live, I New York's Diamond and the context I Diamoni put Diamond, it has made it categorically clear to me. You understand? So Madi also, like I said, is someone Meya Lonko. He always speaks his mind, on issues at some point. But an activist may along, he always speaks about, government issues. So he will also like whatever men are on the opposition side also, idea so that people can see it go is kind of balanced in his criticism. Which is completely fair. But sometimes, you have to actually check criticisms. Actually, for your check, you need to make a lot of verification before coming up. And again, like I said, Madi's stand movement is to fight against the corrupt government, is to fight against an incompetent government. And I believe that is the stand of the opposition also. Opposition for a long time movement will need to go. Katapelayan Nakarota Kabay Bango Kanja. Opposition for a bail stand wealthy Bango Kanja. So I think this is the two sides. Yanks doesn't mean violence. And I know Madi also, it was his own understanding about youngster statement. But what I can say very well, Masakunda album Masakunda me alonko, ibe mol silandi kan lulum, ibe opposition silandi kan mentani mol wolo. It's like they are trying to tell people go already to the election or win. And which is not true. They're trying to show people go already to the election of fraud. Which is actually not true. I believe Gambian call to sonna wala. Gambian call na to ala wala jam kotangi. Ka foko even the election or sunyala. So what Yanks is trying to put to people let's come out in large numbers. Na fintin jama na katrao fight. And when finta jama na katrao fight, basically we should believe ko nin jama katrao fight may umari lebe ganyela. So it's trying to put courage into the people. I be more encourage them. Put na fintin na katrao fight in large numbers. And when na katrao fight in large numbers, na make sure na katrao yin kanta, na katrao yin kanta, new winter, we have to make sure we celebrate our victory. We have to make sure we secure our victory. That is what Yanks is trying to emphasize very well here. Because Masakunda me ya lonko. All the time kanyina. President Morafola, police will bat level, soldier will bat level, IEC bat level. So all these things are with the president. So the opposition yantaka men calling you to go how to put courage into the people. Ibe mol work no nyadile, ibe mol bamandile no nyadile, iba jeloko mol français wakil mol français sawari pour ya jeko to na ni na katro fay opposition wa nyama anu sita na katro yunta na defend believe in me I sit na katro sunya moto so na katro sunya and that statement ning or that comment ning we have to show it out we for na IEC make so IEC understand ko Gambian call mantra sinola and Gambian call will protect every single vote ye member about particularly kajako nobody is going to steal the election here coming the way it happened in 2021 but that doesn't mean ko we are going to create violence and that doesn't mean ko Yanks come following ko we have to create violence to defend our vote. That is not actually it means. What it means, we have to come out in large numbers na katrao fight. And when we in large numbers na katrao fight, we have to make sure we defend our vote. Na katrao na defend because that is something me along is very important. Nim na katrao fight, me da si show kono na mafia bule na katrao ya dun yokono. Men diate resource men diate be think like all like Baroka Yimemvo. Ko he is going to have 75% of the vote. Benyaje Baroka ni rally men na makari. Ye mol bon all the way from Kasmas. Ye mol bon nan Kasmas le ye samana makat. Ye all fandi makat. Kasmas in Kol. Ye friend la fandi makat Kasmas in Kol. So we have all seen the kind of message me ya long work about the ruling government bulu. Work about an established government bulu. So what should the oppositions do? The opposition also need to do a form of gasta. It has to be a form of gasta. Any strategy nada, we push back to them. Any strategy nada, we push back to them. It's not going to just be, an easy game like that. So I believe, like I said, man najang to blame Yanks or man najang to blame Madi. But what I'm trying to say here is, my understanding from both sides, this is exactly what is there. Madi and Yanks are brothers. And I believe they are brothers. So sometimes some of the issues, we can discuss it. Duma, but some of the issues once you can go out and say it. But this is my take and Almatonya Sabatila. Those people may they trying to take chance or credit in that is there also, right? But one thing we believe is democracy is something we believe and that the same democracy that democratic process Yanks fan we have to come out in large numbers na katrao fight. I believe this is what exactly Yanks is saying. So Allah baraka baki, thank you so much. Dia mola mandia if I nina afo ku this mean ko nina afo ku that is that is my weakness. Nima afo kudum that's all. Allah baraka baki. Thank you so much. Allah baraka.